Hi, my loves, and welcome to another Hypergamy chat. I'm not doing the song anymore. I know, tears. I retired the song, if any of you even remember it. But I wanted to discuss this topic. Oh, before we even get into it, hi there, my loves. Please like this video, share it out, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you always know when I'm posting, okay? I do other things on this channel. I also pull cards. I do card readings, so check out your signs. Personal readings for, well, I don't want to say personal readings, but check out your signs readings on this channel as well, if you're into that. But darling, I just wanted to talk a little bit about, like, y'all have got to stop blaming these men's mamas for how they're showing up with you. I can't even take this anymore. Like, what on earth is going on here? Like, in all actuality. And here's why, right? And it's not that I think that, like, it's a good thing if a mother condones her son's lack of, good character and morals and showing up in the world as a man, and showing up to his relationships as a man, right? But everybody in this room is grown-ups, right? And so this is where this gets, like, very, very, very confusing to me. Okay, because if you look at it, the way you're really, like, trying to rationalize this is so you're not going to hold this one whole human being accountable for their actions, right? And so you got this one whole grown up right here, and you're going to blame this entirely separate adult who is not the one half of this relationship. And also, by the way, if he was a mama's boy from the beginning, if you saw that their dynamic as mother and son was very unhealthy and was enabling his lack of accountability and responsibility from the beginning, and then you chose to keep choosing this man over and over again and making long-term investments with this man over and over again, you are culpable, baby. You are responsible, not his mama, because their dynamic as mother and son belong to them. And then you have to really think about, I done skipped my point, but it don't matter because this is the bigger point. You have to think about what that overall dynamic means for your life. Like, start being selfish, ladies. Like, this is about your life, right? So think about what that overall dynamic means to your life, right? Like, she didn't choose him. That's her son, right? And so that dynamic is so layered and so, like, enmeshed that when it's unhealthy, it's very hard to get up in between that, and it's very hard to, like, calibrate that in a positive direction. And it's no one's job to, right? Like, that's for them to go get some family counseling. That's for them to go do some self-reflection, or that's for them to just enjoy that and deal with that on their own. But for you, nothing you're doing or going to do is going to disrupt that dynamic. So if you're thinking about, like, creating a life with this person, well, guess what? This is the dynamic you're going to have to deal with when mother-in-law comes over to visit, when y'all go to her house, when he's acting up and then he gets on the phone with his mom and she's condoning all of the things. Like, all of these things are already making themselves available and present for your decision at the beginning, ladies. And so when you guys start getting into this thing about it's the mom and then, oh my gosh, clutch my pearls, you want to fight his mother. What? So now you're willing to roll on the floor for this man who's not even willing to, like, break into a light sweat to make himself even one iota uncomfortable to help you, to be useful to you, to be a benefit to you in your relationship. But now you want to tussle his mother? Like, how messy and like whack is that? And even without that, aside from that, right? That's just more on the extreme end of the spectrum. But I'm just even talking about women who just like love to sit around and commiserate and be like, oh my God, his mom, and he's not gonna grow up because of his mom. No, it's not. He's not gonna grow up because he don't want to grow up, okay? And let me tell you something. You are no better than her. Because you keep choosing him, you keep giving him honey, you know what the honey is. You keep giving him the honey. You keep giving him all the benefits of having a full-blown wife, doing all these things, being the like all-star best girlfriend in the world to this man who's barely even showing up for you. He's barely showing up as like a side dude, let alone your man. And you enable his behavior by staying. You enable and encourage his behavior by, he has no incentive to change. And it's not on his mama. And by the way, it is like the exact opposite of the definition of a man. If you need his mama to make him get some act right, if you need his mama to make him behave with you or show up in some sort of integrity or character befitting a man that you want, does that type of man who's responsible, who's accountable, who shows up, who's able to be a provider, who's able to bring something into the relationship, does that man fit the description of someone who needs the poking, prodding, nagging, and pushing of his mother? You guys got to make it make sense. I think what you guys are doing when you're doing this, ladies, is you are deflecting your own responsibility for your right to choose who's going to be in your life. And that's why vetting early is real. That's why mate selection is not a game. Because guess what? If you move in with that man, if you marry that man, that's the family dynamic you are bringing in. That's your crew you're assembling. If you have children with that man, that's the father you're giving your children. That's the grandma you're giving your children. That's that dynamic that you are placing inside of your house. This is the team you are setting up. You know, like when you're in school and you're creating a dodgeball team? This is the team you setting up, baby. You said, I want that one. And I know that one come with that one. So both y'all come over here. Cool. And that's why you gotta vet before feelings get involved. And you have to make decisions for you, boo. Because once your feelings get locked in, it's over. You're gonna excuse so many things, and then you're gonna do the, oh my gosh, this whack thing that y'all be doing, which is shifting around responsibility. It's on that man to show up as a man for you. If you know that he is dealing with an environment with his mama, of all people, who you are not going to replace or move out of his life, is showing up and Herculesing him and coddling him, baby, you're just looking at you in a few years with your own kid, because you're doing that with him. You're doing that with him. Don't consider yourself a cut above the company, baby, because you are doing what she's doing, except for you could walk away. You have no ties to that man yet if you don't have any kids. If you don't live with him, if y'all are not married. This is a very clean break it off process. And you guys overcomplicate your lives with these men who are showing you from jump they're not about to be any use to you. They're not going to be responsible for anything. They don't got it like that in the first place, so they definitely can't help you financially with nothing, not a Nathaniel's, and nothing about heightening the stakes with these men create any sort of urgency or incentive for them to change, especially if they have an infrastructure of support system like a mother who's enabling and supporting and condoning these behaviors. They could be wrong for that all day, but do you think culpability is off of you because you love him? So we have to start choosing ourselves over everything, ladies. Because you might think it's a small trivial thing, mate selection. No, it's about feelings and I love him. And why can't he just, okay, but let's deal with the facts here, baby. It's not about what you would like to be happening. What is being presented to you? What is he actually doing? And why aren't you believing him at any turn? And then to make matters worse, excuse me, you're going to take responsibility off of that grown-ass man's shoulders and place it upon his mother's? So who's the grown-up in this room? I'm just waiting to find out where are the grown-ups? Where? And wouldn't you think that if she was able to dictate his behavior, she would have done so by now? Don't you think that if she was able to control his behavior, she would have done so by now? Self-accountability is a very real thing, and everyone must be accountable for themselves. She can be accountable, and I can see how I attributed or supported or, contributed to this now grown adult who is not functioning well in the world and is not showing up in any sort of integrity or good character. But it is not her job, right? Like, that man grown. She doesn't have to raise him anymore. And so whatever relationship she wants to have with him, let her have with him. And why don't you go find a man who doesn't need the pushing, prodding, and nagging of his mommy to be your man? Because in and of itself, that is not the description of a man, baby. Hello? And the fact that you want it just tells me, darling, you are a pick-me. And I can say that because I used to be a pick-me, darling. So I know one when I see one, boo. You're a pick-me. And because you don't want to let this man go, you are trying to find every reason to stay. And you're trying to blame everybody else for why you still here and entertaining these shenanigans. He just don't act right. And it's his mother's fault. That bitch, la da 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 da. Or like, that lady, I just can't believe her. I hate her. I hate her. You need a nice, long stare down in the mirror, baby. You need to go do some mirror work. We got to get into some counseling, some therapy, some spiritual healing, something, because this isn't going to do it. This is not cutting it. It's a grown adult's mommy's fault. Why he's not committing to you? Why he's not coming home? Why he's not being financially responsible? Why he's not treating you with respect? Yikes. So how do you want him to grow up if you won't? Because you are treating him like a child, expecting his mommy to regulate that. Yes or no? Because the only time I'm looking for a mom, babe, is when I'm at the park and somebody's kids is acting up around me. Where's your mommy? Where's your mommy? Hi, yeah, your son? Did you see? Some people be showing videos of like kids acting up and like kicking them or like hitting them, and like they need to find the parent, right? Or like, just like back talking them, acting really crazy with them, acting out of pocket with them. These are the only times you need to be seeking somebody's parent. Where's your mommy at? Where's your parent, honey? Because no, I don't want to be responsible for nobody else's kid. Hello, hi, yes, please, your child, your son, please come get him. This is the only time you're doing that. Love. You're at the grocery store. Kids acting up. Where's your mommy? See a kid wandering lost by themselves. Where's your mommy? These are the only times you need to be looking for somebody's mama. I'm sorry, my loves. It's the truth. You look very silly. You look very, very, very silly. And you're only like getting on a megaphone, blasting yourself. Because, y'all, I'm very hard on the dusties on this channel. But I feel like we also got to get into some accountability of self, ladies. That you are the CEO of your life. And it's not going to look like what you want it to look like if you're going to the places that can't provide it, right? Like, if I want a beautiful, sunny vacation, I'm not booking a flight to Antarctica. Right? Because that environment is not going to provide the nice, beautiful beach, sunny warmth vibes that I'm looking for. So stop booking your flights to Dusty'sville and Mama's Boyville and don't have any act right in himville, when you're looking for secure, stable, grown-ass man land, right? You need to, you got to buy your ticket going the other way, darling. Or you're going to find yourself again and again and again and again and again in the same scenario. Same soup, just reheated. Same thing, different day, right? It's going to be Groundhog's Day for you. Same mess, new outfit. Come on. So I just invite you to think about that, ladies. Just think about what you're really saying when you're blaming a man's mama and not blaming your own poor taste in mate selection, not blaming your own boundaries or lack thereof for that man's presence in your life, right? Not taking any, and I'm not saying that he's exempt from his behaviors. Blame that man for all of his responsibilities and all the things he's culpable for, and hold him accountable to those things all day, every day. But if a man is showing you that he's not going to be any use to you and he has no intention of showing up for you, pouring into you, then you got to be the one to go. And you have to take responsibility of your own life. Is it fair? No. But fairness and responsibility are not mutually exclusive. Okay, my love? It might not be fair that you fell in love with somebody who's not acting right, who's just never going to get it together, who's never going to grow up, who's never going to show up for you, who's never going to respect you. But it is still your responsibility to get the fuck out of there. It is still your responsibility to go work on loving yourself. It is still your responsibility to draw healthy boundaries and protect yourself. You deserve a good life. You deserve good things. You deserve happiness. And if you're finding that you're not getting it there, don't pass that buck around. You better sit in the driver's seat of your life and bounce. Stop sitting around waiting for these men who get finer and finer as the days tick on. Okay, he's not worried about anything. He can go bag him a little 25-year-old in his 60s. He's not worried. He can keep having babies until he's in his 70s, baby, and he's not worried. You need to be worrying about yourself and what you want your life to look like, and stop blaming that man's mama. I got to reiterate it one more time before I go. The only time ever you should be looking for somebody's parent is when you're dealing with a child. And if you are looking for his parent to regulate some of his behaviors, then you are full well knowing you are dealing with a child, and you are equally, come get this word before I leave, you are equally culpable and equally a participant and equally an enabler of his behavior. Because you're looking for his mommy to fix something that grown-ass man need to go fix by himself. All right, that's it. I've been trying to make my hypergamy videos very soft and darling, but they just don't always happen like that. Sometimes it just comes out the way it comes out, and I'm from New York, so it's going to be what it is, ladies. But it all comes from a place of love. It all comes from a place of you deserve to live a soft life. You deserve to live a good life. You deserve to be seated in your divine feminine receptivity. You deserve a man who's going to love, honor, and cherish you, who's going to treat you with respect, who's going to be a provider, protector, who's going to put you first and make you his top priority, and who is going to come to you whole on his own and not need his mommy's help with that. Okay? So with that, you guys, my loves, my darlings, I'm wishing you mad love and many blessings. You count. You matter. You are important. You are seen. You are heard. You are deserving. You are worthy. You are magic. My loves, go get up in it, and I'll see y'all on the next one. Later.